Tariffs have been looming very large over this entire summit. The EU hasn't yet received that letter from Trump. What is your team expecting to see when that letter comes? Any specific carve-outs in particular that you're expecting to have achieved?
Well, of course, our trade team is working very hard to get good agreement. But at the same time, we are also working with other countries like here in Southeast Asia or in the world to have trade deals and trade agreements to diversify our trade portfolios.
Okay, so the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is here as well. Are you going to meet him to maybe stabilize relations a little bit? Because it seems like the EU-China summit might be partially derailed from what we have reported before.
We had a good meeting in Brussels with my counterpart, and we are discussing. It's the same format that we had in 2023, the summit then, and it's important the substance. What are we discussing?
But you're cutting it short, and you're not bringing any additional business delegation.
No, there was no plan. That was the question that actually wasn't clear how China wants to hold this summit. And now we know that it's one day, and what kind of meetings we have and what discussions we have.
What is your response to China's assertion that the EU's public procurement has been unfair, that the EU does have its own immense subsidies for its manufacturers and producers as well? Is there a double standard being applied?
No, well, our subsidies are in accordance with the WTO rules. So this is very, very clear. We want a level playing field. We are very worried about the economic coercion of China, and we are also worried about their enabling Russia's war in Ukraine. So these are the two big issues we have.
Let's talk about Gaza, because President Trump said that a ceasefire could be in sight this week or next week. What do you envision as the EU's role in supporting that ceasefire?
Well, we have been working very hard since the last Foreign Affairs Council that we had in Brussels with the Israelis to really improve the situation on the ground with the humanitarian aid for the people so that the situation would be better. We achieved an agreement on very concrete terms, how many trucks will get in, how many crossings will be opened, distribution points so that people would receive help, water distribution for the Gazan people, also waste management, a lot of issues. We reached an agreement, and we really need to see also this agreement put in practice, the implementation. And I'm glad to hear that already today there were improvements like fuel getting to the hospitals, and the situation being a bit improved.
Right. Ukraine's intelligence says that Laos is prepared to send up to 50 troops to a place in Russia for mining operations. Given that Sergei Lavrov is here in ASEAN, to what extent are you worried that he is here to beef up recruitment for the war in Ukraine?
Well, of course, Laos has denied this, and we will have a meeting also with representatives from Laos to ask, because we also give a lot of development aid to Laos, and if they are supporting Russia's war, which is an existential threat to Europe, then we have to look into our arrangements. It just can't be that you're getting support from us and at the same time undermining us.
Okay, just very quickly, we know that Myanmar's junta has been squarely under Moscow's orbit as well. The coup's chief traveled to Russia and Belarus as well. Any insight as to what sort of cooperation is underway that could support Russia's war machine?
Well, of course, we are worried about all these steps, and it's clear if we look at the bigger picture that these autocratic rulers are really teaming up, which is dangerous for everybody. And that's why we really need to stand up for the international law, international rules-based order, and defend it with the countries that share these same values.